So in 2013, a realtor called me in Charlotte and was selling a house that had a basement full of old architecture magazines. And they said, some of them are rotten. Do you want them? I said, sure, thinking I would go down in a couple weeks and pick them up. He goes, we're going to throw them away in 2 days if you don't get them. So I hired a guy off of Craigslist with one of those pickup trucks for hire and sent him to Charlotte. He got all the magazines, brought it back, and then we got on eBay and bought 5 old Epson scanners and got our volunteers to come to my garage, and we just started sheet feeding these things into the machines, and that was our first 500,000 pages.
Wait a minute. 500,000 pages?
Yeah.
How long does that take, and how many scanners did you go through?
Well, we had 5 scanners plus a big scanner that I already had in my office. And I would say it probably took maybe 4 days, 5 days, chugging full strength. But the difficulty with it is not the scanning part.
Right.
Is that you have to go through the magazine and pull out the subscription cards and the perfume samples. And back in the 90s, those AOL CDs they used to mail out in all the magazines, you got to pull all that crap out before it'll sheet feed properly. That's the most labor-intensive part. The scanning is easy.
So when it sheet feeds, but don't you have to take the binding off?
Yes, we take the magazines to FedEx and they chop the spines off. And then eventually we found a very, very wonderful and sympathetic vendor who now does all our scanning for us. So he's done maybe 1.5 million, almost 2 million pages since that initial run. There is an endpoint to this because there were only so many major magazines about architecture, really starting in the 20s, most of them. And a lot of them had died by the 70s as modernism fell out of favor and that ghastly thing called postmodernism rose up and took over, all the design minds. So there's a limit to what we need to find and get all in one place. So what I like about this is it's a finishable project.